Once upon a time in a small town, there was a dedicated English teacher named Mrs. Walker. She was known for her passion for literature and the way she inspired her students to reach for their dreams. But among her students, one boy stood out: Adam. Adam was quiet, and despite his potential, he struggled with writing. He would stare at his papers for hours, but the words never seemed to flow. His classmates were often far ahead in the assignments, while he fell behind, feeling invisible. Mrs. Walker noticed this, and one day after class, she approached him. "Adam," she said gently, "I see something in you that you may not see yourself. You have the heart of a great writer, but you're not trusting yourself enough." Adam looked at her, his eyes filled with doubt. "But I don't think I'm good enough, Mrs. Walker. What if I fail?" Mrs. Walker smiled. "The only true failure is giving up on yourself. I won't give up on you, and I hope you won't give up on yourself either." That evening, Mrs. Walker did something unexpected. She slipped a small note into Adam's desk. It read, "Write the story only you can tell. It doesn't have to be perfect, just true to you." The next day, Adam sat at his desk, staring at the note. He was hesitant, unsure if he could actually write anything meaningful. But then, something strange happened. The words started flowing. At first, they were shaky and uncertain, but gradually they became more confident. Adam poured his thoughts onto the paper, each word revealing more of himself. Weeks passed, and Mrs. Walker kept a close eye on Adam's progress. One day, as the students handed in their final assignments, she called him up to the front of the class. "Adam," she said, "would you like to read your story to the class?" The room grew silent. Adam's heart raced. Could he really do this? Would they laugh at him? Mrs. Walker gave him an encouraging nod. Taking a deep breath, Adam began to read. As his words filled the room, his classmates listened in rapt attention. His story was not perfect, but it was raw and real. It spoke of struggles, hopes, and dreams, and as he finished, there was a moment of silence before the class erupted into applause. Mrs. Walker beamed with pride. She knew that Adam had found his voice, and in that moment, he had achieved something far greater than just a good grade. He had discovered his own strength, and that was the true victory. But just as Adam was about to leave, Mrs. Walker handed him another note. It read, "The real journey has just begun." Adam looked up, puzzled, but a spark of understanding flickered in his eyes. He realized that this story, like his life, was only the beginning of something even greater.